It's your man George Page coming to you live onto YouTube. Well, I'm sorry I'm a little late with this video. I was trying to find some information on it. As you know, yesterday was the Romanian Pro, aka the Musclefest, and they're supposed to have done a live stream. They did a live stream for a lot of the prejudging, but there was some issues with the copyright, so they didn't show the finals. So I had to find out through different sources about who placed, who won, and how how it ended up. And I got this information off of a friend of mine on Facebook. He posted it, and also, it's just a list of all the competitors. Originally was 14. If you saw in my previous video, there was originally 14 competitors, but cut down to 13. I think one of the competitors had to drop out for some reason. Usually, it's one thing if you don't know about this, but sometimes doing a show and prepping, you can really get really dehydrated. It could be you can have medical issues, and in the past, some competitors have had to scratch out because of, some either they got sick or something was wrong or just a list of things. But anyway, this is the list from the 2019 Wings of Strength Romanian Pro for female bodybuilding. And as you know, the first place winner is a woman from Italy by the name of Monia Gioiosa. I just can't say her name right. I'm just gonna say call her Mona because I can't say her name right. A lot of these competitors on here, the names I cannot pronounce. Like I said, there's a handful of familiar faces. Like I said, the take second in the show was Natalia. We call her Amazonica, Natalia Amazonica. She took second. That's the Russian lady, the huge Russian lady. Some say that she. I saw some of her videos from the prejudging, and she still has some issues with her posing and how to line up, and she needed to really come in with more of a solid condition. She needs to drop a few lbs and maybe come in a little bit more cut condition. Third place went to Claudia Bartzik. Just Claudia. I'm gonna say Claudia because that's another Italian bodybuilder. She actually last year she placed a little at the next to last at the last year's Romanian Muscle Fest, but this time she came and took third place. We also fourth place goes to this chick from the Czech Republic. I think it's Alena. You know, that's how I think I'll call it Elena. That's the best way I can say it because I can't pronounce the last name. A lot of women from other countries with names I can't pronounce because, this is probably the most stacked number of European bodybuilders I've seen in a long time. Because generally I've been always a big fan of European bodybuilders. They bring more definition inside. They just bring a couple of muscles like women like Krista Bach and Angela Langer and just Juliet Bergman, just a list of great women from from Europe that has always come in with oppressive shapes. Fifth place was to Elena Ona Hipic, if I say her name right. And, Lita is a Romanian bodybuilder. As you know, she competed for, got a pro card back in Chicago a couple years ago. And I think she placed in the top 5 at last year's Mr. Romania. But she didn't do too good this year. And taking 6 is Lisa Cross. Now, Lisa stood out most of the season so she can get ready for the Romanian show because, she's in England and it's a lot closer for her to come from. I think it's a lot easier for her because, as you know, Europe has the EU pretty much has a, kind of all stuck together in a way. It's a lot easier for European bodybuilders to travel to other parts of Europe than it's come to America. I think how many issues with, like passports and papers and all those stuff, and it's just a lot of a mess to be traveling overseas. And sometimes it's easier to travel around, in Europe it is to travel to the United States, especially currently with the climate that things is. But that's neither here nor there. Seventh was Kim Buck. Kim Buck being the only American bodybuilder in the lineup, and Kim was a second or third runner-up at the Puerto Rico Pro this year. So this is one of the 2 shows she has done. I think also she did the Rise of Phoenix show just this summer. Then let's see, 8th is Well, this is a lady that's this is very interesting. This is a lady from Hong Kong. She is the first woman bodybuilder to turn pro from Hong Kong. Her name was Su Feng Law, but she changed her name. I seen a picture of her. She's totally different from what she used to be. Her hair was a little shorter, and also she's transitioning from being a female to a man. And if you've seen, her name is, said again, is, uh, maybe correct it, Wang Lu Law. If I'm messing up, I'm sorry. But Miss Law is a female bodybuilder that's transitioned to be a male. She competes as a female bodybuilder, but she lives as a male. And she often, when she works out, she often dresses as a man. And if you ever seen pictures of her before, she is I think she's a very sexy female bodybuilder who wants to be a man. I mean, I can't. She has a great. I have a very impressive physique. I didn't recognize her because the name is different what she was going by before, and also her hair is a little longer. She usually has her hair cut short, but she might be wearing a wig so she can look more feminine. That's the thing with female bodybuilding. It's about not just about muscles, about how feminine, how you look, and what is more pleasing to the judges. Okay. Ninth place is let's see, is another bodybuilder from Russia who I don't really know. I'm not gonna say her name, but she's another bodybuilder from Russia. 10th, Wendy McCready. Now, Wendy, she placed fifth at the Rising Phoenix when the year that Alena Pupa won, and she came a little bit kind of little. If you see her face, Wendy really was kind of dried out. I mean, her face was just, she needed this. I don't know. She needed to take some fillers. I mean, she just looked really gaunt. I mean, she just, I think that was her best condition. I mean, I know it's, she just kind of overshot it a bit. I mean, that was just, and the biggest point to me was Robin Triple D Hillis. She came 11th, where last year when she came second, she was behind Monique Jones. And I've seen pictures, and Robin looked amazing. I don't see why. I mean, she's one of the big girls. She should have been up in the top five. I mean, the other couple of girls in there shouldn't even place top five. I mean, but it's judges. I don't know. The most of it's supposed to be the contest for the big girls. And this year is just, they try to push out a lot of the bigger women. I mean, but then you got Amazonica in there, and she's just huge. She's almost the size of a bantamweight male bodybuilder. I think she's 5'7", 225, what they said, but you know. And the rest of the women in the lineup, like I said, the names I'm not too familiar with, and I'm not gonna butcher their names, But I mean, this show was a pretty decent show. It was a good number of women. I thought there was a couple more because I thought, oh my God, my girl Tisha, the Tigers Thompson was going to compete, but she's not competing. She's doing some tours, in overseas. She was in Germany. I follow her on Facebook. She's in Germany and doing some other places in Europe. But I thought she could compete this year, but she didn't. Virginia Sanchez took the year off also because she's also trying to prep for next year. She's coming in with more size. Ari Anderson, she competed last year and she didn't compete because she took the top five at the Rising not at the Rising Phoenix. So she'll need to compete in any more shows unless she just wants to. And then Monique, as you know, she also took in the top five of the Rising Phoenix. And there were some other people that were kind of missing, but they decided to just take the buyout. But most of this was pretty much a completely European stat contest. Mostly, a couple of Great Britain, some Russians, some others, and some Central and Eastern Europe, and then you have Kim Buck, the only American, and you had Law, the only Asian bodybuilder. There's, as you know, there's another Asian bodybuilder by the name of Michelle Lin. She competed at the Toronto Pro, but she placed, I think, in second behind Margie V. Martin, but she didn't compete in any. She didn't come um, to the Rising Phoenix. Sometimes it's about sometimes financial issues, or as you know, it's harder for some people to get into America. I was talking to a female bodybuilder that I'm a fan of on on a chat, and she was talking about doing a show, and then she said the problem is she can't do Canada because she had a record, a felony, and it's I think in Canada, it's hard for anybody to get there with a felony. It's hard for anybody to get to America if you have a felony. So it's just it's just hard. So I say, well, tough break, but maybe next time you give things clear up, maybe you can try it again. It's always about whatever hand you have to grease to get you in there, and that's always the thing. But like I said, the Musclefest was pretty good from what I've seen. It was a great venue. They had it where they at. As you know, I post that into the video in my previous videos where the venue was at, and it was nice. It's the end of the female bodybuilding season. We won't see no more bodybuilding until I think the next show will be the Puerto Rico Pro next year. And and generally it's just there's a lot of other shows, but most of them just don't have female bodybuilding in it. But the thing is, Wing the Strength really needs to, they try to, as the Miss Olympia's coming back to the O weekend. And I think they should try to get in with a couple more shows. I mean, there's the New York Pro. They used to always have Carrie Miss Bodybuilding, but until they dropped it a few years ago also. I would love to see the real Miss International come back to the Arnold, but, well, I think I'm satisfied with the new Miss International, which is for the amateurs. But as a being a fan, it's just gonna be kind of dry for female bodybuilding. You still have some physique here and there, and but pretty much the season is over. And some of these ladies are really getting ready for next year. Some are taking the time, really working on their development and their diet and their preparation. And I would love to see some come back. I'd love to see some of these ladies come back. There's some ladies that I think I'm thinking about taking the time out and just go ahead and put in the papers and retire. As you know, Lita Papa, she's now more of an executive now, so she's not competing anymore. And then there's a couple of bodybuilders I follow that seem like they just decided to drop out this year. Some just take some time off just to develop more size and definition, and that's good. And hope to see them back on stage, especially Jay Fuchs and Virginia Sanchez and the list, a couple of ladies. But as you know, this is going to be all of my bodybuilding content for right now. This is the last contest. I might pop in and talk about some female bodybuilders here and there and stuff like that. But as you know, I'm still always going to be a fan of these ladies. One of these days, I would love to go to the Miss O or just go to a show, see it live. Because, it's one thing we see it on a video or on a live feed, but you have to experience it live. And maybe just go there just to meet, shake hands, say hi, say I'm a fan. And just, saying, hey, you just, I may sound like some pervy sage, but I just really respect what you ladies do. And it takes a lot for a woman to come in a sport where you are changing your body in a way that's not, stereotypical of a female. And you got to give them much respect for what they're doing. And the hard part about it is that they're not getting a lot of money on this, you guys. They're not. And some of these ladies have to go do GoFundMes. They do stuff like sessions. They do, stuff just try to make a buck. Some even try to hold a full-time job. And that's sometimes hard, being a competitor and holding a full-time job. But like I said, if you can, I'm saying Jesus, if you're a real fan and you care about these ladies, hey, every now and then drop a little something in the bucket. Sometimes it can be $5. They appreciate it. Sometimes it might be enough to buy them maybe a couple of meals for a couple of days, or just something, putting gas in the car when you're going back and forth to the gym. Just do what you can. Well, this is your man George Page. Like, subscribe. Don't like, subscribe. I'm out.